Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about PlayStation 3 emulation with RPCS3, and RPCS3 just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, RPCS3 version 0.0.36 alpha is the latest release. This release has a whole bunch of bug fixes, optimizations, performance improvements, new features, and even more. I would say this is a pretty big release. So in the last 30 days of development, the RPCS3 team says there's 190 new commits, 309 source code files have been edited, and 20 people have contributed to all of these changes. Next up, we're talking about retro achievements, and if you're a fan of retro achievements and Final Fantasy II for the SNES, you might be excited about this news here. They say the yearly event Find the Pixel is now live. This year, decipher the locations of the achievement icons in Final Fantasy II for the SNES. Find them all for a fancy badge. If you are curious about this one, full details are up on their website. And like everything we talk about, links are in the description below, right at the bottom. I don't hide my sources. And speaking about Final Fantasy, next up we're talking about Final Fantasy IX, and there's a brand new website for Final Fantasy IX's 25th anniversary that has just popped up. And this website has a lot of people speculating that a Final Fantasy IX remake may be in the works. Now, I took a look at the website and unfortunately I didn't see anything mentioning a remake of this game. However, it has been rumored for a while now, considering I think this was part of that whole NVIDIA GeForce huge leak. So we'll have to wait and see on this one, but it does seem that a Final Fantasy IX remake is very likely. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Next up, we're talking about MAME, which stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Multiple Arcade Machine Emulator, depending on how you wanted to interpret that. Anyways, another month, another new MAME release, and a whole lot of improvements. At the time of filming, MAME version 0.276 is the latest update. So with this latest update, there's a bunch of fixes, a bunch of stuff is now marked as working, and even more. It was a pretty big month for MAME. Almost every single month is big for MAME. They say here that Sega 3D arcade game emulation has been improved. Graphical fixes for Konami GX arcade games and Philips CDI software. And the ARM v8 64-bit recompiler is now even faster. And speaking about arcade stuff, next up we're talking about one of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite game of all time. And that is Capcom vs. SNK 2. This is the arcade version of the game, but this one here is not. This is the port of the game, the Dreamcast port of the game. This one was never released in North America. We had CVS 2 for Xbox, PlayStation, and GameCube, but not on Dreamcast. And someone here has translated this game over to English, which is amazing. All of this information is 100% free and open source, and Derek Pasquarella does have it up on GitHub. Again, if you're curious about anything, links are in the description below at the bottom. And this was put together by a whole bunch of different people, including one of my friends here, Silent Scope. I would say this is a huge, huge thing, and not just because this is an English translation, but because there's additional changes here. I mean, one of the things they've done here is replace network mode, which doesn't work anymore and isn't even required to play this game online using emulators, and they've replaced it with bonus content. Within bonus content, they've got 100% unlocked save, TV commercial, and developer interviews. And that's one of many things. As you can probably tell, I'm extremely excited about this, and yes, I will probably be trying this one out fairly soon. And speaking about stuff on GitHub and stuff that's interesting, next up here we're talking about Windows 11. Now, Windows 11 is reported by some as a pain to install because it tries to require an internet connection. And it seems some people have been pretty creative here to find a way around that. All of the information is up on GitHub if you wanted to learn more about it. And speaking about learning about stuff, next up we're still talking about Windows, but this time about Windows Defender. A lot of people like Windows Defender instead of using an antivirus. And I'm not advocating for antiviruses here. I'm just saying if you are using Windows Defender, you may want to read up on this article here on Forbes. It does seem that hackers have found a way to bypass Windows Defender. So this has to do with the Windows Defender application control bypass. And as for the size and scope and severity, unfortunately, I don't know those full details yet, but given the fact this is being reported over on Forbes, I would say this whole thing is bigger than nothing. This article is fairly technical, but if you are curious about it, feel free to read it and learn out more about it. The average user here should probably expect an update from Microsoft at some point in the future. It seems they are working on it, and I don't know when they're going to roll out a fix, but I'm assuming that fix will be rolled out with some sort of urgency. And continuing to speak about Microsoft, next up we're talking about Microsoft Xbox emulation with Xemu. And Xemu got a brand new update here that has improved performance. So at the time of filming, version 0.8.45 is the latest update. And this update is already available on GitHub. Now, I haven't tested out this one myself yet, but some people are reporting performance issues and compatibility improvements for certain games. If you are using Xemu, you may want to check out the latest version to see if there are performance improvements for you. And if there's a game previously not working the best for you, you may want to check out the latest version to see if it is, or just check out their compatibility tracker, which is usually up to date. And last up here, we're talking about Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, ever since Monster Hunter Wilds released, it's been a huge hit for Capcom. If you were wondering how huge, well, it just topped 10 million units sold. That is quite a bit. Considering the game has only been out for around a month, I would say that 10 million units sold already positions the game to be one, if not the best Capcom selling game of all time. I mean, right now in first place, it's Monster Hunter World with 21.3 million units sold. And 10 million puts the game in 7th place for Monster Hunter Wilds, possibly even 6th. I mean, taking a look at some of the stats of this game over on SteamDB, and this is only for Steam, Monster Hunter Wilds is sitting in 5th place overall for all of the games on Steam, with an all-time peak of 1.3 million users playing at the same time. The crazy thing I find about this is the review score. I would have expected something like an overwhelmingly positive review score given the fact that this game is so popular, or at least a mostly positive or very positive, but no, it's got none of those. It's got a mixed review score, and that is, well, that's concerning for a number of reasons. First and foremost, the fact that a mixed review score can still be one of the best Capcom games of all time. And secondly here, the fact that it's selling so much. But let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. If you play Monster Hunter Wilds, do you think it deserves an overall mixed review score, or do you think the review score should be much better than that? Given the player base on this one, given the fact that this thing is continually played by a whole bunch of people, it's sitting in 4th place right now for people currently playing it on Steam. I would say the review score is maybe not something to be taken seriously unless people are just playing it even though they hate it, which wouldn't make any sense to me. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state, and I'll see you tomorrow.